Ayisi Makatiani, Managing Partner, Fanisi Capital. Wonderful presentation today. I'm going to come to that in a second.
Thank you.
Just wanted to get your impressions of yesterday and today's conference when you're ready for takeoff. What was your impression of it?
It's very positive. I think that with the change in government and the incoming of very operationally oriented cabinet and an executive that wants to go out there and do big things, infrastructure, that wants to increase tourism, that wants to increase oil, extractive and non-extractive industries. You cannot go on too far in that discussion without figuring out exactly how you're going to fund it. But not just about how you're going to fund it, but having a discipline around it, having a discussion, bringing in the big stakeholders in that particular endeavor, and having not only a mindset that's agreed, but also that begins to be publicized to others, so you're all in sync. So this is important. It's great. It's great that there's been commitment from government right up from His Excellency all the way down to the private sector, and it's a good thing, and we need to do more of them.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, looking, you made a comment saying money's not the problem. I think you said there is plenty of money washing around the system.
Yeah.
So, are you frightened by these numbers that we are throwing out, $17.5 billion on infrastructure, or you think it's doable and sensible? What is your impression? Because I'm sure people have not seen these sorts of capital requirements come out of somewhere like Kenya.
Yeah, I think money is not a problem. There's plenty of money, and the requirements for the money are also not the issue. There's plenty of requirements for the money. I think what is important is that how do you take that money and utilize it to achieve and deliver the goods and the services that are required in a way that actually at the end of the day makes a return back for that money. And so it's about, I think where the rubber hits the road in this kind of things is about how do you convert that money into real things. So if you need $90 billion, you'll get it. But can you build a railway that then is fully utilized, that then makes a payment back on the bonds or whatever sources of funding that went into it? But beyond that, do you have the right people to operate the railway so that it achieves that?
That was an interesting point that you were making. So, I mean, in my mind, I think infrastructure is a no-brainer because the returns, if properly constructed, are going to be able to pay off. As long as we're not spending it on recurrent expenditure.
Yes.
Now, just to jump to Fanisi, which obviously is it's a venture capital business. Is that the way to describe it?
Exactly.
How much capital have you currently deployed in this region?
We have $50 million US.
Yes.
We've deployed about 75% of that at the moment. And at the moment where we are beginning to think about raising another fund that would then be useful in continuing the effort that we've put in place. We are seeing fantastic deal pipeline across the region, fantastic entrepreneurs, people who have proven their concepts, and they just need good, smart money to back them, to help them to grow, to make it what I would call regional and global businesses. So to grow them to the point where international players now want to come and partner with them and build it out. So that's really where we are now. So pipeline is good. We're managing a good portfolio. At the moment now it's about getting back into the market and raising money for the rest of the pipeline that we do have.
Two quick questions. Who are the investors that have put the money into this venture capital fund, which I assume is investing in the region? Who are they?
No, we've got international finance institutions, and we've got some high net worth individuals. We've got in Fund 1, we had International Finance Corporation. We had the Norwegian Fund for Developing Countries from Norway. Also in Fund 1, we had Soros Economic Enterprise Development Fund, which is part of the George Soros empire. We have Lundin Foundation just put some money in, and a few other high net worth people who've put money into it.
To give an example of the types of businesses you've invested in, I think your biggest investment is Hillcrest School.
Yes, we've invested.
Education.
Yes, we've invested in education. That's for now K to 12, as you would say in America, or prep school, early years prep school and high school. We are also beginning to look at what we call post high school education, but not university. So vocational training and areas like that. And there are a lot of people who are graduates of universities and have done extremely well in universities, but they can't work. And there's a huge market for that. And we're saying, why don't we begin to formally tackle that sector? We're looking at the oil and gas and mining sector services, so not the main function of it, but the support functions.
Do you need local content legislation in order to exploit that?
It will be helpful,
yes.
But we're hoping we don't necessarily need it, but it will be helpful if it was, and I think it is necessary from a Kenyan patriotic point of view. I think we need to have it so that anyone who comes here realizes that you need to find a way of leaving some of what you extract from the ground locally in terms of jobs, sustainable development in the long term. So creating jobs, creating smart shareholders and support services, and that would be helpful. We're also looking at the healthcare sector. Again, the full healthcare sectors from hospitals to pharmaceutical retailing, pharmaceutical wholesaling to manufacturing. We will invest across the whole sector. We're looking at agribusiness. We've just invested in the largest maize milling operation in Rwanda, about 300 tons a day of potential capacity at the moment. We want to grow that. We've invested in the commodity side of buying maize, drying it, storing it, and selling it. We're also investing on the downstream side, marketing of it, animal feed, creating animal feeds, grits for the breweries, and all of that. So the whole of that value chain in Rwanda. We've done that. We've also invested, as I said, in the third largest wholesaler, pharmaceutical wholesaler in Rwanda. And then talking about sectors, we're also looking at financial services and financial technology as a sector. And then, of course,
you were investing in a mobile. Was it what did you say?
Yes, we're looking at a mobile money outlets business in Uganda. Really, it's about the place you go to exchange money between hard money and electronic money, back and forth, and the whole of the cash management aspect of it, and investing in an outlet that has about 100 outlets, but to grow it to 200, but also be an aggregator, so managing other outlets. Yeah.
Can I leave you with one question? Are we at the tipping point?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, Ali Khan, just like you, when I left here, and I went to the States. I think you did yours to the UK. I wasn't necessarily sure that I would come and do what I wanted to do and be excited about doing it. At the moment I'm back, I'm doing what I would want to do. I'm extremely excited about it. I'm being called by my former colleagues in the States every other day about coming to want to do stuff over here. I'm now doing as exciting things as my colleagues who went to Silicon Valley, Sequoia Capital, Menlo Ventures. When we now talk about fraternity days, we also talk about what we're now currently doing, and there are a lot of similarities between what they're doing and what I'm doing, and just as exciting, the exchange of ideas, how to build a pipeline, how to manage a pipeline, how to exit companies, how to list them, what's the latest in the various sectors. Exactly the same things we're going through here, and you can see Kenya, aggressive new government, good technocrats across the board. A certain excitement. Yes, we've got issues to still think through about ICC and other politics, but I think that will come to pass. And then the sky is the limit. Yes, we're on the tipping point.
Ayisi Makatiani, thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Ali Khan.
Thank you.